Blood floated in zero gravity. Elara's body drifted lifeless in the airlock of the Xerion Council ship, her eyes still open, as if they were trying to warn someone. Somewhere far from her, Earth received the transmission, but the signal cut out just before the screaming started. No one knew what happened. No warning, no explanation, just silence, and a corpse. Elara Miles wasn't a soldier. She wasn't even armed. She was Earth's peace envoy, sent to stop a war before it began. But now, she was dead, and the galaxy held its breath, waiting for Earth's response. It never came. The governments said nothing. No war, no speeches, just silence. Some thought Earth was afraid. Others believed it was weak, but a few, those who understood how humans really think, knew better. Earth never forgets. It waits. Behind the quiet, secret engines began to stir. Satellites blinked out of orbit. A black ship without a flag vanished into deep space, and somewhere, hidden from the stars, a voice whispered, "She was never just one human. She was the warning you ignored." No one could believe Earth didn't strike back. A murdered envoy, public humiliation, and still no response. The alien empires mocked humanity. News channels across galaxies called Earth the silent planet. But the silence wasn't weakness. It was planning. Deep beneath the Atlantic Ocean, inside a black site facility known only as Arc-9, the old guard had awakened. Not politicians. Not generals. Something older, something colder. Project Revenant was activated for the first time in 50 years. The team didn't exist on paper. No records, no names, just shadows. Their mission: prepare Earth's retaliation incomplete. Silence. No press. No glory. Just precision. Meanwhile, the galaxy celebrated. The Xerions held parades. Their leaders wore medals soaked in blood. They believed Elara's death had ended Earth's ambition for peace or war. They were wrong. A stealth drone entered Xerion space unnoticed. It scanned, recorded, and vanished. Back on Earth, a man with no rank opened a hidden file marked, "Elara, Phase 2 begins." Because Earth hadn't stayed quiet out of fear. Earth had waited for the right moment to answer, with something the stars had never seen before. Elara's death was brutal, but what came next was worse. A week after the incident, a hidden file was leaked across Earth's underground networks. It was footage, blurry, unfiltered, real. It showed Elara inside the Xerion Council Hall, alive, calm, and speaking. She had discovered something, a weapon, a prototype capable of bending gravity, erasing entire cities without leaving a trace. She tried to warn them, tried to make them see reason. Then, the screen flashed red. Guards rushed in. The recording cut to black. But it was enough. The truth was out. Elara wasn't killed by accident. She was silenced because she had uncovered a secret that could destroy Earth. Now the whispers turned into anger. People filled the streets holding her image high. Not just as a diplomat, but as a martyr, a symbol. And deep inside Arc-9, Project Revenant decoded her final message. It wasn't just a warning, it was a map, the location of the weapon, the coordinates of the base, and a final line from Elara's voice. "If I'm gone, they'll come for Earth next." Earth wasn't just planning anymore, it was preparing. Earth sent a peace team, small, unarmed, and wearing white to show they meant no harm. Their ship entered Xerion space, broadcasting only one message: "We seek justice, not war." They never made it to the surface. Aboard the OI, command ship Aegis Dawn, all contact was lost just minutes after landing. No distress signal, no goodbye, only static. Then, a hacked message appeared on Earth's diplomatic channel, someone laughing, cold, cruel, alien. The footage that followed was worse than before. The peace team had been ambushed, their bodies displayed publicly, just like Elara's. Another message came from the Xerion War Council. Earth is weak. 2 dead envoys, still no war. How many must we break before you vanish? Inside Arc 9, silence filled the room. A grim-faced commander stood before Project Revenant. He looked at each of them and gave the order. Initiate Black Star Protocol. No more envoys. No more peace. This wasn't just betrayal. It was an invitation. One Earth would finally accept. From that moment on, Earth's silence ended, and the war began. The day started like any other. Then, the sky changed. Above every major Earth city, thousands of hidden satellites lit up at once, forming a glowing ring of red across the clouds. The network, dormant for decades, had just come online. It had one purpose: global mobilization. Every screen, from phones to towers, flashed the same message. She was killed, twice. Now Earth answers. In space, Earth's war fleet, silent and invisible, began to move. Ships that didn't exist in official records emerged from the shadows. Sleek, black, and built for one purpose: end the enemy. The president didn't make a speech. Instead, the world heard Elara's voice, her last recording recovered by Project Revenant. I tried to save them. I tried to warn them. If you're hearing this, it means they've made their choice. Now make yours. That was all Earth needed. Factories roared back to life. Old bunkers opened, civilians prepared not with fear but with fury. Peace was over. Mercy was gone. For every envoy they destroyed, Earth would send a fleet, and for every life lost, Earth would take a world. They didn't see it coming. Xerion's outer defense satellites blinked once, then died, powerless, silent. Then came the storm. Out of the dark side of Jupiter's shadow, Earth's fleet descended, black ships with no insignia, no warning, and no mercy. They cut through the cold like blades, targeting strategic points. With terrifying precision, Xerion's border colonies barely had time to send a distress signal. One exploded mid-broadcast. The Xerion Empire had believed Earth was slow, emotional, soft. But what they saw now was different. Calculated, cold, and fast. Stealth drop pods rained from orbit onto Xerion-controlled planets. Inside them were Revenant teams, elite human operatives trained for deep infiltration. They didn't waste bullets. They didn't leave survivors. One Revenant operative left a single message burned into the side of a Xerion watchtower. This is for Elara, and this is just the beginning. Back on Earth, billions watched in silence as live satellite feeds showed the first victories. They didn't cheer. They waited, because this wasn't revenge. This was the first step in something much bigger, and Earth was just getting started. They moved like shadows. Revenant Unit 9, known only as the Vultures, infiltrated Xerion's capital. World, Varic Prime, under total blackout. No lights, no sound, just boots in the dust and breath in helmets. Their target wasn't a weapon. It was a rumor, a prisoner, human, kept alive in a hidden vault beneath the Imperial Palace. Someone, the Xerions never reported, someone they were studying. The Vultures found her in the dark, Elara Miles, alive, barely breathing, suspended in cryo, hooked to alien machines. Her vitals stable, but altered. The Xerions weren't just keeping her, they were changing her, learning from her. Harvesting her mind, Captain Reese of the Vultures stood frozen. The last time he saw Elara, she was a name carved into a wall of the fallen. Now she was right in front of him, trapped between life and death. As they worked to disconnect her, they uncovered something worse. An alien AI system monitoring her thoughts, transmitting data across galaxies. Elara wasn't just bait, she was the key to a larger war, and waking her up would change everything. Her eyes opened, but not like before. Elara gasped as the cryo-fluid drained from her lungs, her body shivering, skin pale under the dim blue lights. She was awake, but not the same. Her voice was weak, but her words were sharp. "You were never supposed to find me." The vultures stood around her in silence. No one moved. Captain Reese stepped forward, his voice low. "You're safe now, Elara. Earth's fighting back." She shook her head slowly. "No, you don't understand. You were never the target. Earth was always the trap." Confused, the soldiers checked the alien systems connected to her cryopod. What they found chilled them. Xerion had used Elara's neural signals to trace Earth's fleet, study human battle strategy, and broadcast weaknesses to their allies. The attack on Earth hadn't started yet, but the countdown had. Elara looked up, eyes filled with horror. "They let you find me. They wanted me to wake up, and now it's too late." Above them, an alien beacon activated, bright, pulsing, and aimed directly at Earth. The real war hadn't started. It was just beginning. The transport ship roared through fold space, burning back toward Earth. Elara lay on a biobed, weak but conscious, as medical bots worked to stabilize her. Around her, the vultures stood in silence, haunted by what they now knew. Earth wasn't ready, and the enemy was no longer just Xerion. Elara's voice broke through the quiet, recorded for global broadcast. Her eyes stared into the lens, tired but clear, focused, angry. "Listen to me, this war isn't about revenge. It never was. They used me to map our defenses. Xerion is just the front line. There's something worse behind them, a coalition. An invasion force from outside the galaxy, and they're coming." The message reached Earth within hours. Panic rose across nations. Military leaders demanded answers. Civilians rushed to shelters. But then, Elara stood before the world, alive, changed, and unshaken. "We don't have time to mourn. We have time to fight." She stepped into the war chamber beneath Earth Command, now leading Earth's final defense initiative. Peace was over. Survival was now in her hands, and Earth finally had its voice back. The skies above Earth shimmered unnaturally. Not clouds, not ships, a distortion, ripples in the fabric of space. The enemy had arrived, and they didn't come in silence. A fleet beyond anything the galaxy had seen emerged, massive, alive, and humming with ancient power. Not just Xerion, but dozens of alien species united by one goal: erase humanity. But Earth was no longer the quiet planet. Elara stood on the command bridge of the Aegis Prime, now Earth's most advanced warship. Her voice echoed across every channel, every city, every battlefield. "They thought killing me would break Earth. They were wrong. This is not just about Earth anymore. This is about every world that's been bullied, threatened, or silenced. We are not the ones who should be afraid. They are." As her words spread, Earth's allies, hidden colonies, rogue fleets, and even old enemies joined the call. Project Revenant's final phase launched, Operation Eclipse. Earth's fleet vanished and reappeared directly above the enemies. Command ships, in one synchronized strike, Earth unleashed everything. No warnings, no mercy. It wasn't just retaliation.